Jason Young checked into the Hampton Inn in Hillsville, Virginia, the night of November 2nd, 2006, just before 11 p.m. His wife, Michelle, was murdered in their Raleigh home sometime that night or early the morning of November 3rd. The hotel was approximately 170 miles away, which is about a 3.5-hour drive. Jason Young was ultimately convicted of the murder in 2012, though no evidence linked him to the crime. A clerk from the hotel that night testified that he found a camera unplugged near one of the exit doors. Police notes indicated that the camera was unplugged at 11:20 p.m., which is 30 minutes after Jason checked in, but it also coincided with the early part of the clerk's shift that night.
What would be the normal time that you would arrive in work when you came to do third shift?
Shift starts at 11, but I usually get there about 10:50, a little bit earlier, so we can go over what happened on the previous shift.
The prosecution asserted that Jason probably messed with the camera so that he could leave the building undetected to drive back to Raleigh to commit the murder. Something that was not revealed at trial is the fact that the clerk's face was visible on the camera just as it came back online. There is, in fact, a screenshot that was not shown at trial with Hicks approaching the exit area where the camera was located. This indicates that he plugged the camera in, but that wasn't his testimony. Hicks will actually testify that the camera was up too high. He couldn't reach it, so he was not able to plug it in.
Did you notice anything peculiar about your camera system that occurred shortly before you ended your shift on November the 3rd of 2006?
I'd say sometime after 5 a.m. Or anywhere between 4 or 5 a.m. I noticed that the camera was unplugged. As soon as the maintenance man come in, I told him what had happened, that I went to see what was wrong with the camera, but it was unplugged and it was up too high for me to plug back up.
Yet despite that testimony, here he is approaching the camera, and here's the police notes showing his face visible at the camera. Maintenance worker Elmer Goad's testimony about the camera was inconsistent with Hicks. He stated that they noticed the camera was unplugged when he arrived at work, and that he needed a ladder to plug it in, yet his face was not on the camera when it came back online.
November the 3rd of 2006, when you came into work, did you hear about a problem with one of the cameras that Mr. Hicks told you about?
Yes, I seen it when one of them was out.
Okay. What did you see? What happened?
Well, we noticed one of the cameras was out, so we went and checked to see which one it was, and figured it out and went to check it, and it was unplugged.
Okay. Where was this camera located?
It was located in the stairway in the west end of the building.
What did you see then when you went and looked at this camera?
It was unplugged.
Okay. So what did you do?
Went and got a stepladder and plugged it back up.
Why the lie? Is it because the police wanted to attribute the camera blackout to Jason? And was it because Hicks plugged it in? He clearly plugged it in. Did that also mean that he unplugged it when he arrived at around 11 o'clock that night, that it wasn't Jason at all? Is that why the testimony was inconsistent with the facts?
He just went up and plugged the cord back in the back.
Did he get a ladder to get up there to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Did he need a full ladder, or was it just a short little ladder? Do you know?
Really not positive on that,
Okay.
because he went to fix it and I had to also tend to the front desk.
Another very interesting thing not revealed at trial about the cameras is the fact that police notes indicate that every camera from 6:51 until 7:17 that morning was black. Every single one of them. So that means there was either a power outage at the hotel or someone tampered with the tape. Is it possible Jason was seen in the hotel during that time? Was exculpatory evidence erased? The camera evidence was important. The jury actually cited it as one of the coincidences that contributed to the guilty verdict. The state used it to convince the jury that Jason could have left the hotel But the evidence presented at trial was inaccurate. And it's actually more likely that the clerk unplugged the cameras than Jason, since we know that the clerk plugged the camera in and lied about it. Said that he had to get the maintenance person to do that. This misstated evidence is a big red flag. In the approximately 30 minutes of missing camera footage from each camera in that hotel is another huge red flag, and it indicates deception occurred at trial, making it difficult to trust the verdict.